Is it cold in here? Or is it just my bases? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek video. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, and I am coming to you today with something I'm pretty excited about. I am continuing my, starting really, my Space Wolves quest here to create and build a Space Wolves army that will win me best overall for LVO and then eventually World Championships, 40K World Championships. And I am super excited with what is happening so far. I have painted up a model, like a character model that I'm going to be putting up into a painting competition, and I'm super stoked with how he turned out. The colors look great, the bases look great, and the plinth that I made for it to slot into so that it can be both the gaming piece that I can put into my best overall army, as well as for this painting competition. All of it looks great, all of it turned out amazingly, what we're going to be talking about today is actually the bases, because this is going to be the basing scheme that I'm going to be using for my army. And I thought it was such a cool result that I got from it that I think you would be interested in seeing how it's done and maybe doing it for yourself, because it was actually way easier than I expected going into it, trying to kind of conceptualize how I wanted to do this and what I wanted the bases to look like. Because I wanted to be the wolves, I wanted it to be Fenris, I wanted it to be cold, I wanted it to be icy, and I was like, just putting snow on top of the base just wasn't going to do it for me, especially if I'm gunning for best overall. I want to make a paint job, and I want an army that looks thematically and just visually and aesthetically awesome, and that's going to be my path towards getting my goal. And I knew that it wasn't going to happen if I just had it on a gravel base with the snow on top, which is great for getting things done quickly, but I didn't just want to get it done quickly. I want to get it done extremely well, because that's the aim for this, and that's what the whole project's for, is to try to do this. So I wanted to come up with a concept and a basing scheme that would look visually striking, that would be cool to do, and that would be relatively easy to do, because I need to make a lot of them. So this does have more steps in it than just like painting them and calling it done. But it's not as difficult to do as I think a lot of other ones would have, and it's visually just as striking as I think a lot of them could be. So before we go any further, I do want to talk about today's sponsor for this video. Yes, this is sponsored. It is the LVO. The LVO, for those of you who are not aware, is the Las Vegas Open, and it is an event put on by Frontline Gaming in Las Vegas every year. And this year they've moved the dates, so this year is actually going to have the second LVO. LVO 12 will be the second one of 2025 because they didn't want to go for an entire year and a half without any LVO. So this year they're going to have it again here in October. It's the beginning of October, that first weekend of October, and it is a blast. I have loved it every time. I've gone since 2017, and I've loved it ever since. I go there and I have a great time. I see friends. I make new friends. I get to go and see a lot of exciting things. And Las Vegas is, I don't have to hype Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a fun place with so much going on, so many things that you can go and enjoy and have fun, go see a show, get some wonderful food, enjoy the nightlife, anything that you want to do there. And this event happens in there and gives you a good excuse to go there, have fun, be a giant nerd, and also go and have fun. It is the biggest party in Warhammer 40K, is what they like to say. But it is more than just Warhammer 40K. It is a number of different competitions that they have. So they've got, all the big ones. They got 40K, they've got AOS, they've got the Kill Team, they've got the Horus Heresy, so all the ones from GW going on there, and a number of different options there. You got like the 40K Friendly and the 40K Champs. You've got some the narrative events going on there. You also have other systems like Marvel Crisis Protocol. You have things like Bolt Action, like the number of the Star Wars ones, so Legion and X-Wing. there's a ton of different events that are going on there, and not just gaming competitions. They also have a painting competition that goes on there. They have painting classes. They've got a brand new like hobby lounge that they're going to be having there. They've moved locations, so this is going to be a different location than they had last year. So it used to be the Bally's, then it was in the Rio, and now it's going to be at the Expo in Las Vegas down there. And they've got a lot of things lined up. They've got 2 different pub crawls that they're going to be doing, like after parties that they're going to have on the Friday and the Saturday night, so that you can enjoy all the company of your fellow nerds out there in the desert. And they're trying to expand it to make it something even bigger and better, and just keep getting better and better. And that's kind of what it is. They decided to move locations and times to allow them to expand and do more things. And they were kind enough to sponsor me for this because they knew that I loved going to it, and they knew that I would be able to wax poetic about my times there. And I can tell you that some of my best memories in wargaming and in being part of this hobby have been centered around LVO. Getting to go every year, I have my different things that I like to do when I go there. I always like to get like a big frozen adult beverage, just because it's fun, and you get to go there and just spend a weekend enjoying the fact that you're a nerd in a big, fun, awesome place, and just it's just a lot of fun. And that's the whole point of what the LVO is meant to be. It is meant to be a lot of fun. And if you are in it for the competitive nature, there is no better tournament that you can go to. It is one of the biggest Warhammer 40K events that you could ever go to. They've got tons of people that compete in the top competitions for that and AOS. And if you are looking to try your chops against the best and the best, this is where you want to go, and this is what you want to be doing. So if you go to the link down in my description, you can find and get yourself some tickets. I am also going to be announcing the giveaway of one of the other tickets from the last video that we had here, and the winner is going to be, is Folding Chair Johnson. So congratulations, you have won yourself a ticket to any of the competitions that you want there. I think you said Old World is the one that you were interested in doing. They've got the Old World going on there, so go and get I will get them to get in touch with you, and you will have your ticket. There is still another chance for if you are looking to get a free ticket. If you are a member of my Patreon, if you go to the Patreon, I'm going to be drawing a winner from my active patrons next week, and I will be announcing that one then, so that people can kind of get a head start on what they want to do and get prepared for this. But I'm super excited for this. I'm going to be competing in the 40K Champs, so the main 40K event with my Space Wolves, which is what I'm talking about in this video, getting the basing for, and I'm going to be trying to go for best overall. So come join me down in the desert. It'll be a blast, and maybe we can fight against each other if you decide to do the 40K Champs down there across the table. So without any further ado, let's continue. So I'm going to be demonstrating this effect on a regular 40 mil base. So I took a regular GW 40 mil base, flipped it upside down, so I've got like a little bowl there to hold what I'm going to be doing later on. And then I just took some regular super glue, put it all over the bottom, and then added some of the Army Painter's snow effects, which is just like basically like a really fine grain texture, down to the bottom to give a nice even texture on there, and also to cover up any of the like printing stuff that they've got down there. Then I was taking some of the Abyssal Blue, which is one of the Fanatic paints here, and painted it all over the base there, so up onto the rim, up onto the edges there, and then also onto everywhere down there on the base itself. You don't need to put a primer down there because this is not going to be being touched, honestly. You're just going to have it down there, so it doesn't need to really worry about that. And then I took some Aegis Aqua, and I also took some matte white, and then I just put in some swirls. So I just had like a wet coat of the Abyssal Blue down there, and then swirled in some of the Aegis Aqua and some of the matte white to give just a little bit of a dynamic effect there. Then I took some UV resin, and I put it into like a disposable cup here. Any kind of UV resin. It doesn't air dry, which is nice, so you have to use the UV. And then I took some Tyrian Navy speed paint and put it in there. I put a little bit too much into this first batch here. I ended up having to put in some more UV resin to, lighten it up a bit. I think 1 drop into something like this size would probably be enough. You don't want it to be too dark and, opaque. You just want to have it like give a nice deep blue color to it. So I just added that then into the the base here, and the benefit of using the upside down base there is that you have a lip. You don't have to worry about it going over, even though it has a pretty high viscosity, so it holds like a meniscus very well. Just having that little depth, it gives you some more depth when you have the final result. So you can use like a UV flashlight there, but I ended up getting like a stand-in UV light that you can just put them underneath there, because I'm going to be doing an entire army, so I don't need to be doing that with one at a time. I want to have the whole thing. So after it's been cured there, it's rock hard. There's not much you can do to this, so we're going to get some rough it up a bit with some sandpaper. You don't want to just go sanding onto it. You want to take it and just pull it at a like in a straight line across there. It just gives a rough texture without making it looking just like cloudy. It just gives it a nice look to it there. And obviously I can't hold on to this dang thing. Then you just want to go in with an X-Acto knife and give some other stronger lines there. And I gave up trying to have it higher up there. You're just gonna have to see where you can go there. You can see where it goes there, and just have them at random intervals and in random directions, just to give like the look like it's some worn ice that you've got there at the end. And now we just got, that is going to be the base for our thing that we're going to work here. Then I took some matte white paint and again some more of that snow effects texture, and I mixed it into a paste, basically just into like a texture paste here, but it's going to have white as the base of it. So I'm just going to have it, it's going to be white and it's going to have a texture to it. And then I'm going to put it onto the base here. I'm going to put it around the entire edge. You could also just put it into more or less depending upon what you're wanting and what you're looking for, but I wanted to have it work with my display plinth that I had planned. So I had that going in there. So then we took some of the Battleship Gray speed paint, and I just straight out of the bottle kind of put it onto there and let it soak into our texture base after it had dried. The texture base had to have dried, and then once the speed paint dried, I took some matte white and just did a dry brush. You don't have to worry about either of those two things getting onto the resin part there, because you can just go in with your finger and wipe it off or scrape it off if there's a bit too much. I had a little bit of the Battleship Gray that I wanted to get away, but a little bit goes really well. And there we go. We have our final product that honestly looks very cool in my opinion. It looks like ice, it looks snowy, and it's very effective and dynamic without taking away from the model that you want to show on top of it. It's super easy, as you saw. It does require you to kind of like start working with the UV resin, but honestly, other than that, there were no real like advanced techniques that I had to use in here. And as you can see, it works, fits right into my display plinth there, so I can take them out and use them as a working model for gaming. And there you have it. I am super stoked for these bases. I think that they're going to be easy enough for me to do en masse, which I have to do for this entire army, and they are super impactful, super cool looking, and they look great. And they're also made, the resin was a lot easier to work with than I expected, and dyeing it takes a little bit of, mixing and matching to try to get it to go right, but I think especially if you're going to be doing like an entire army base, or the entire army's worth, it's a lot easier then, because you have a lot more that you're working with, and it's not like small amounts that you're trying to get together, so like I was doing in the video. But that's all of it, is just like all of it will look good. So even if the coloring isn't exact, it's ice, it's water, it's like natural. It's meant to be a little bit different as you're looking through there. It's not like an even coating of stuff. So and just like, there were no techniques other than, I guess, maybe the UV resin. I have that bigger light, but the flashlight would work if you're doing like a one-off kind of thing. But if you're trying to do an army, I would probably suggest getting one of those bigger lights, just because you can put multiple bases under there at a time, and you don't sit there doing it one at a time. So, but yeah, I think it's super easy. The mechanics of doing it is not difficult, which makes me feel like this is the kind of thing that would be, doable for most people. If you're young, maybe get your parents to help you if you want to be doing, working with resin, which is not exactly, it's not like an acrylic paint, which is not toxic. This can be toxic. So you need to be careful and make sure you're doing it right and working with it. So, if you're a young person, a young member of the Woo crew, just make sure you take care to do what you need to properly, as opposed to going about it the wrong way. But let me know down below, what do you guys think? Do you think that these are some cool bases? No pun intended, or maybe I did intend that. Let me know what you think about them. Do you think you would do it for your models? Would you do it for like a display piece, like for a painting competition? It's super effective, so give it, it would be cool to like work with that. It's also a lot easier with that UV resin than working with like the 2-part epoxies and stuff like that take time to cure and you have to worry about bubbles. These were super simple to work with, and even though I was sure like mixing it in there were some bubbles, but it's also it's ice, it's like frozen ocean or whatever. So there's going to be some stuff with that, and it works exceedingly well. So, but let me know if this is something that you would do. What ideas do you have? Have you tried something similar? Have you worked with UV resin for other stuff? Like, let me know down in the description, like the comments, not the description. I write the description. You can write the comments. Let me know down in the comments below, and we'll keep the conversation going. If you have some tips and tricks for other people down there, that would be a great place to put them. Also, as you're probably aware, I am a member of the Army Painters Factory team, and part of that is, or not part of that, but it has brought a lot for me. It has given me a lot of benefits to be a part of this team, to be a part of the different offerings that they have. So it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience, and I really, truly appreciate what this company does and the products that they have. But I also know that I would not be a part of the factory team if it wasn't for you guys, the viewers, the subscribers, the people commenting, all the people in the Woo crew that are watching my videos, that they have been watching my videos for the last 10 years that I've been on YouTube. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So part of my negotiation when I was getting into the factory team, when I was negotiating my contract, I wanted to make sure that there was a way for me to say thank you to you guys, because I knew, again, I couldn't be here. I wouldn't be getting this if I wasn't for you guys. So I negotiated a discount code for anybody if you want to. So if you go to the Army Painter and use the code FactoryGeek5, you can get yourself 5% off of any of your purchases there. There's also a link down below in the description that you can click on and take you there. Just make sure you put in the code FactoryGeek5 to get yourself that 5% off. It's on anything. So right now, I think they have the speed paint pens, which are really cool and interesting. If you were looking into getting some of those, you can get yourself 5% off of that. Any of the paints that I used in here, literally everything except for the UV resin was Army Painter products for this. So go over there if you want to keep doing this, if you want to do something like this, or something completely different. You can do a desert base. That's the paints work just as well for that too. They're not dedicated to ice bases. And if you are a member of my Patreon, again, thank you so much for all of the support that you've given me. The Army Painter gave me another code to give to my patrons, so it's behind the paywall there. As an extra thank you for your more direct support of the channel, you can get yourself a 10% discount code through there. And honestly, you could probably save yourself more money with a purchase with that 10% discount code than it would cost you to help support on the Patreon. But all of that support is extremely helpful, and I really thank you for all of it. And that's the reason for it, to give you that extra code, is to thank you for what it is that you do. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. And until next time, stay safe and have fun.